rare portal of love opens today. And no, it's not just about romance. It's about divine connection, deep healing, and the redefinition of your most intimate bonds. It's a realignment of the heart, orchestrated by the cosmos, and your soul has a VIP invitation to this initiation. You may already be feeling it. A restlessness in your chest, a sensitivity that seems to come from nowhere. Old attachments and memories of past relationships reappearing in your mind, not to haunt you, but for a final farewell. New and fascinating connections emerging in your life with an intensity and a sense of familiarity that defy logic. And above all, a deep, almost primal call to protect your heart like never before, to honor your energy and to instinctively step away from everything and everyone that does not resonate with your deepest truth. If you are feeling this, you are not imagining it. Your soul is responding to the opening of this energetic threshold. Today, Venus, the planet of love, beauty, our value, and our magnetism, enters the royal, expressive, and courageous sign of Leo. And this is not a mere astrological change. It is the opening of a portal, a sacred and temporary window of time, where we are invited to undergo an initiation of the heart. It is the moment when the universe tests us and asks, what do you truly value in love? Who do you allow to enter your kingdom? And most importantly, do you treat yourself like the royalty you are? What you allow into your energetic field now, the decisions you make, the boundaries you set, and the connections you choose to nurture will set the tone not only for your next week, but for the coming months, in love, in your self-esteem, and in your soul contracts. In the next few minutes, we will guide you through this portal. We will diagnose the symptoms of this heart recalibration. We will dive into the sacred architecture of this initiation, and we will deliver the crossing manual with what to do and what to avoid to emerge on the other side stronger, more authentic, and magnetically aligned with the connections your soul truly deserves. The crossing is now. The choice to enter is yours. When an energetic portal of this magnitude opens, the effect is not silent. It is a recalibration, and a recalibration is, by nature, a process that is felt. It's as if new software is being installed in your soul, and your nervous system, your emotional body, and your magnetic field are the first to register the update. The symptoms you may be feeling now are not random. They are the clear diagnosis that your soul is responding to the call of the portal of love. Recognizing them is the first step to navigating the crossing with consciousness. The first symptom, and perhaps the most uncomfortable and liberating, is a sudden and visceral intolerance to toxic bonds. Relationships and dynamics that you tolerated for weeks, months, or even years suddenly become energetically unbearable. It's that friendship that consistently leaves you feeling drained and diminished. It's that family tie built on guilt and obligation instead of genuine love. It's that romantic connection where you know deep down that you are giving much more than you receive. Before, you could rationalize, find excuses, postpone the decision. Now, the simple idea of interacting with that energy can cause physical repulsion, a knot in your stomach. This is not you becoming selfish or intolerant. It is the sovereignty of your heart, awakened by Venus in Leo, declaring a state of emergency, your authentic self. Your royal heart is fighting for its own life and its own brilliance, and it knows it can no longer allow these energetic leeches to remain in its kingdom. This sharp discomfort is a gift. It is your soul giving you a no, so clear and so loud that it becomes impossible to ignore. It is the first step of the purge. The portal will not let you enter if you are still holding hands with energies that do not honor your value. The second symptom is the paradox that follows this purge, a new and terrifying courage to be vulnerable. The very moment you feel the impulse to step away from what is toxic, a counterpart arises, a deep desire to show yourself authentically to the right people. The same Leo energy that gives you the strength to protect your kingdom also gives you the courage to lower the drawbridge for those who are worthy of entering. This can manifest as a sudden urge to have that honest conversation you've been avoiding, to share a feeling, a fear, or a dream you would normally keep to yourself, to allow yourself to be seen without your armor, without your masks of perfection and control. This is not the vulnerability of neediness or weakness. It is the vulnerability of the sovereign heart. It is the strength that says, "This is my truth. This is me, and I am worthy of being loved for it, not in spite of it." This courage is the portal's test. The universe is watching to see if, after clearing the space, you will have the bravery to invite true love in, a love that can only grow in the fertile soil of authenticity. The third symptom is the external manifestation of all this internal recalibration, a notable increase in your personal magnetism. When you begin to honor your heart, set boundaries, and allow yourself to be authentic, your energetic frequency changes. It becomes clearer, stronger, more coherent, and the world responds to this new coherence. You will notice that people are more drawn to you, but in a different way. It's not the superficial attraction of your pleasing mask. It is an attraction to your essence, to your light. You may receive compliments on your energy. You may notice that people seek you out for deeper conversations, new and unexpected connections, which seem to resonate with you on a soul level, may appear out of nowhere. This is not magic. It is energetic physics. You are emitting the frequency of your real heart, and you are attracting, by the law of resonance, other hearts that vibrate in the same harmony. This magnetism is the universe's confirmation that you are on the right path. Finally, the fourth and last symptom, the feeling that old relationship patterns have suddenly become obsolete and unbearable. That tendency of yours to chase the unavailable, to settle for crumbs, to diminish yourself to fit into someone else's world. Suddenly, it seems not only painful, but ridiculous. It's as if you woke up from a long trance. The light of Venus in Leo illuminates the pattern with such clarity that you can no longer justify or romanticize your own self-sabotaging behavior. This is the final sign that the recalibration is working. The portal is closing the door on your old selves and inviting you to enter as a new version of yourself, more sovereign, more magnetic, and unshakably faithful to your own heart. If you recognized yourself in the symptoms of the recalibration, you are already feeling the effects of the portal. Now let's enter the soul's engine room. Let's understand the sacred architecture of this event, the why behind your experience. What does the union of Venus with the energy of Leo mean, astrologically, and why does it have the power to redefine our most intimate bonds so radically and profoundly? First, we need to understand the two architects of this portal. On one side, we have Venus. Venus is the planet of love, yes, but on a much deeper level, she is the planet of value. She governs what we value in the world, what gives us pleasure and beauty, and crucially, how we value ourselves. Venus is our magnetism, our ability to attract, to receive, and to create harmony. On the other side, we have the stage where Venus will perform, the sign of Leo. Leo is the sign of royalty, of the heart, of the sun, of sovereignty. It is the archetype of the king or queen who rules their own kingdom with confidence, generosity, and an unshakable sense of the divine right to exist, to love, and to shine. When Venus, the planet of value, enters Leo, the sign of sovereignty, a powerful and transformative alchemy occurs. The universe's message at this moment is not go find someone to love you and give you value. The much more potent message is love yourself with the ferocity and loyalty of a lion. Treat your own heart as the sovereign king or queen of your kingdom. During this transit, self-esteem ceases to be a quest or something to be achieved and becomes a declaration, an act of power. Self-love becomes the organizing principle of your reality. This energy does not invite us to beg for love at the gates of others' kingdoms. It summons us to sit on our own throne and to rule from a place of unshakable self-love. This is why your magnetism increases. People are not attracted to those who need love, but to those who radiate love from a sovereign and self-sufficient center. And it is from this new and powerful posture of heart sovereignty that the true purpose of the portal is revealed. The review of your soul contracts. What is a soul contract? It is an energetic, often unconscious, agreement that we have with the most important people in our lives: partners, family, close friends. They are the roles that we silently agree to play in each other's lives. The savior, the victim, the teacher, the student, the caregiver, the rebel. These contracts are established for our mutual evolution. The energy of Venus in Leo acts as a royal audit light on these contracts. With your new and amplified sense of self-worth, you are forced to look at each of your intimate bonds and ask yourself, with an honesty you may have never had before, is this contract still fair? Does this role I play in this relationship still serve my evolution and my truth? Does this connection honor my sovereignty, or does it require me to dim my brilliance so the other can feel more comfortable? Think about it. An old contract, perhaps formed from a wound, could be, I will give you infinite care and attention in exchange for a sense of belonging and not being abandoned. The new contract that your sovereign heart now demands is radically different. I will give you my generous, loyal, and radiant love, like the sun, and I expect to receive in return an admiration, respect, and celebration that honor my brilliance. This portal, therefore, forces us to confront once and for all the soul contracts that are based on neediness, obligation, fear, or devaluation. The light of Venus in Leo makes the energy of these toxic contracts simply unbearable, and at the same time, it opens the energetic space for new contracts based on mutual admiration, joy, creativity, and shared sovereignty to be established. Most people will feel the emotional intensity of this transit, the dissatisfaction with their relationships, but will not understand that it is a divine call for a contract review. They will remain stuck in old dynamics, trying to fix what no longer serves, questioning why they feel so undervalued. They will miss the chance to consciously renegotiate the terms of their love and relational life from a place of power. But you, who now understand the portal's architecture, have the opportunity to sit at the negotiating table with the universe and with the people in your life, and to rewrite your contracts, which leads us to action. The theory is clear. The portal's architecture has been revealed. Now we arrive at the most crucial part of your initiation, the practice. Crossing an energetic portal is not a passive act. It is a series of conscious choices and deliberate actions. What follows is not a list of rules, but a navigation manual, with the actions that align you with the highest frequency of this portal and the traps that can keep you stuck in the old cycle. This is your guide to walking through the threshold with power and grace. The conscious actions, what to do. The first and most fundamental action to cross the portal of love is, paradoxically, to make space. The universe cannot fill a cup that is already overflowing. For new soul connections and a new level of self-esteem to enter your life, You must first and relentlessly clear out what is old, stagnant, and misaligned. The energy of Venus in Leo demands an environment worthy of its royalty, and that begins with a great purge. This manifests on 3 levels. The first is the social detox. Look at your schedule and your interactions. Say no to invitations, conversations, and meetings that you know in your gut will drain your energy. Every yes you give out of obligation or fear of displeasing is a door you close to an opportunity that could truly nourish your soul. The second level is the physical cleanup, but here it has a different focus. Objects charged with emotional memory, old photos, letters, gifts from relationships that have ended, mementos that still anchor your energy in the past. These items function as silent contracts, keeping you tied to bonds that no longer make sense. Today, the cleanup is not about tidying the whole house, but about cutting these invisible cords. Every object released is a space opened for true love to enter. And the third level is the emotional detox. Sit with your journal and write a farewell letter to an old relationship pattern or to an old version of yourself that you are ready to leave behind. You are emptying your cup. The second action is the practice of royal and sovereign self-care. Modern culture has confused self-care with distraction. Scrolling through a social media feed is not self-care. Binge-watching series is not self-care. Stress eating is not self-care. They are anesthetics. The self-care that the energy of Venus in Leo demands is an act of devotion to yourself, a royal treatment. Ask yourself, what today would make my heart feel truly honored and celebrated? Perhaps it's preparing a beautiful and nutritious meal for yourself, eating it slowly, without distractions. Perhaps it's listening to a music album from start to finish, one that touches your soul. Perhaps it's a long bath with oils and candles. Perhaps it's dedicating an hour to a creative hobby you've abandoned. Real self-care doesn't numb you, it fills you. It is the act of filling your own cup with love, which diminishes neediness and exponentially increases your authentic magnetism. The third action is the affirmation of sovereign boundaries. A kingdom's sovereignty is defined by its borders. A sovereign heart, likewise, is defined by its boundaries. The energy of Venus in Leo gives you the courage and the sense of self-worth to finally establish the boundaries you know you need. This doesn't have to be an act of aggression. It can be a no said calmly and firmly. It can be the act of not responding immediately to a message. It can be communicating one of your needs clearly. Think of one area of your life where your boundaries have been violated, and in the next 48 hours, practice one small act of protection. Remember, a no said to an energy that drains you is a resounding yes to your own soul. The traps to avoid, what not to do. Just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. The portal, in its intensity, also illuminates our most common traps. The first and most seductive trap is that of repeating old patterns. When we are in an open-hearted and vulnerable state, the mind, out of fear, seeks what is familiar, and what is more familiar than our old relationship patterns. This is where the temptation arises to message an ex-partner, to return to a toxic family dynamic, or to get involved with the same type of person who always disappoints you. Your mind will rationalize, maybe this time will be different. The portal is testing whether you have learned the lesson. The way to avoid this trap is awareness. When the impulse arises, pause. Ask yourself, does this choice honor my sovereignty, or is it feeding my neediness? The second trap is the other side of the coin, giving in to new illusions. The energy of Venus in Leo is dramatic, passionate, and a little blind. It is the energy of love at first sight, of idealization, of falling in love with someone's performance and not their essence. The danger here is meeting someone new and, carried away by euphoria, projecting all your hopes and dreams onto them, ignoring the red flags. The way to avoid this trap is to invoke the wisdom of Virgo even in the midst of Leo's fire. Observe. Enjoy the connection, the passion, the excitement, but observe the person's actions, not just their words. See if there is consistency. Move slowly, even if the feelings are intense. The portal of love invites you to open your heart, not to give away your power. And so, the crossing is complete. The manual has been delivered. You have felt the heart's recalibration, the intolerance for what is toxic, the new courage to be vulnerable, and the subtle increase in magnetism. You have understood the sacred architecture of this portal, the union of your value, Venus, with your sovereignty, Leo, and you have been called to review intimate soul contracts. You have learned the actions that align you with the portal's frequency, making space, practicing sovereign self-care, and affirming boundaries. And most importantly, you have been warned about the traps that pull you back, the seduction of old patterns and the mirage of new illusions. Now, with this knowledge pulsing in your being, you are in the only place that matters, the threshold. The portal vibrates before you, at the peak of its potential. Behind you, the known world that no longer serves, with its familiar pains and precarious comfort. Ahead, a new chapter of self-love, authentic connections, and heart sovereignty. But the crossing is not automatic. It requires a final act, a conscious step, a choice. The restlessness in your chest, the call for something deeper, the sudden dissatisfaction with what is shallow. It's all real. It is the sign. Your soul is being called now to cross the portal of love. It knows that on the other side, there is a new level of joy, connection, and truth. It knows that you are ready. But, and this is the final truth of this initiation, only those who let go of what no longer serves may enter. This is the price, and also the blessing of the rite of passage. The portal requires an offering, your baggage. It is the attachment to the relationship that hurts your self-esteem, but brings false security. It is the fear of loneliness that makes you accept less than you deserve. It is the belief that you need to be pleasing to be loved. For the new to enter, a part of the old must die. To release this baggage, to allow this small and sacred death, is your choice. And it must be made now. The door will not stay open forever. This is the moment of decision. If you have heard the call, if you are ready to pay the price of freedom and claim the connections your soul deserves, anchor this choice. Like this video, share it with another soul who is also on this threshold, and declare your decision in the comments, I cross the portal, and don't forget to subscribe, as the journey of the heart is continuous, and this is just the beginning.